Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here, and Paul. We're rocking and rolling a bit on
Veterans Day.
yeah, November 4th, 2014, Erection Day. Oh, I'm sorry, Election Day. And that being the case, we went up to vote.
We took the new truck.
Yeah, we rode in Paul's new. I got to see Paul's new truck. You know, more of that anon. You know, seeing as how a number of people over the couple of last 200 years or so have died so that we can vote, it would be grotesquely ungrateful of us to not take advantage of that. Plus, it's always kind of fun, you know. I could do early voting, and I have done a couple of times. And I used to vote absentee when I was in college, and even when I was working in Indiana. In fact, I've only been registered to vote two places in my life. You know, where I grew up, and then when I moved up here, the rest of the time I just voted absentee down where I grew up. But it's always fun to go up, you know, and now they've got these little touchscreen things that they do keep a paper copy. Well, they seem to generate a paper copy. Now, whether that's consulted or looked at afterwards, we don't know. But
Well, I think it's got to be saying no.
Well, there's always got to be a certain amount of trust in this process.
Right.
Yeah. And
They always ask me, do you know how the machine functions? Yeah, I tested them when I first installed them.
yeah, I mean, I think, have you ever missed an election up here?
No.
I missed one special election. That's a long story about how that happened, and it was due to an OBGYN guy's recalcitrance about accommodating me. That man effectively disenfranchised me in that single issue election. You know who you are, and your initials are FA. And no, that doesn't stand for F all. But that's the way I felt about him that day. Well, anyway, so we like to vote. Vote early and often. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what the other guys say. Well, we took our crib sheets with us so that we could figure out who was who in the judge elections, because they don't put parties on those judge elections, at least in Ohio. And
If you need the ad cards, they send you in the mail.
yeah. Well, I had looked online and gotten there's a site called Judgepedia, and I guess another site called Lawyerpedia, where you can figure out the political affiliations of these guys running for judges. So you gotta do your homework sometimes. But I didn't vote in two of the races. I didn't vote in the governor's race or the attorney general's race.
Oh.
Did you?
I think I voted for somebody other than.
Did you vote for the green guy in one of them?
No, it was the other one.
Well, and the attorney general only had two.
Oh, there were three. There was
Well, that was governor. They had a green guy running. for
demo and
governor.
a green, and
I don't know. I voted for the libertarian guy for auditor. But anyway, we voted. It was you know, there were a steady stream of, you know, we've got it out now. See, we have about 6 precincts all the Orange Township precincts now are at this particular polling place, which is in a sort of a, yeah, it's
Church school.
well, it's called Friends Evangelical Church, but it's not a Quaker thing. I thought originally it might have been a Quaker church, but it's sort of a non-denominational, Protestant-y church, and they also run a school up there, a K through 8 school, and I thought, well, most of these cars have got to be associated with the school, but no, I mean, there was a steady stream in and out, and there were a number of, how shall we say, secondary benefits to voting in terms of
the escorts.
yes, the
Escorts to your computer to vote.
yeah, the male landscape up there in terms of observers and or helpers, and that's another reason to go vote, guys, if you're gay. So go out there and vote. You never know who you're going to see helping at the polls.
Yeah. Let's see these hot, cute guys.
Yep. Well, fantasize away. So anyway, we did get to ride in Paul's new truck, or I got to ride in Paul's new truck. And I do like that backup feature.
Oh, the camera.
Yeah, the
where they
backup.
come on.
The backup camera is wonderful. It's even got predictive lines where you might go and what's safe.
Yeah. Because of all the sensors on the bumpers and stuff.
Well, I'll tell you,
Tells her what you're near, what you might hit.
I mean, I don't know about the sensor that gripes about you maybe getting close to the ground or a blade of grass, but that backup camera is wonderful.
Yeah. Well, it lets me know if I'm near a tree or
Yeah.
trees and bushes going down the driveway.
And you say it works. You say it works even at night,
Yeah.
even in the dark.
Right.
Yeah.
You had the same vision as what you had this morning. You even have that at night. That lit up and that clear.
I will say what I don't like is that when you're not using it, you've got this big discrete screw. It's a fairly big screen. It's about an 8x8 screen, I'd say. 8 by
Yeah.
8. And it's very distracting, and basically it's talking about the radio and the songs of the radio or some nonsense,
Happy Jazzy or whatever.
I could do without having
Or
that
no, I
thing
don't
going
have it.
on. The only thing I'd want on that display is the time and the temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's at the very top.
Well, that's all I would want remaining on after I use the backup camera. I imagine there's a way you can set that in the 700 plus page owner's manual. You'll find it. No, what you ought to do is just take that truck, just go into that truck.
It's only about this thick.
They want you to go online and read it.
Well,
Oh, that's right, you have
the
it.
disc.
No,
You gave me a disc,
Yeah.
and we'll put that in.
And
the
I-
system.
and
I'm just going to sit there and watch that sometime.
Well,
today.
read it. I uploaded that for you from my USB drive for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to find it and watch it.
Well, it's
And then read the book too.
well, yeah. Well, you only have to do that once generally. Yeah, took me 3 hours when I set mine up, but then I'm slow on this kind of stuff. Well, so when we got back from voting, Paul went down, did laundry, and I scampered off to the Apple store to pick up my new computer, which I'm going to horsewhip tomorrow and maybe the next day, and in terms of transferring the old hard drive to the new hard drive and erasing the old hard drive and then reinstalling the new operating system on the old hard drive. And then I talked to them down there about getting this thing fixed. They said, well, you got to make an appointment online. I said, yeah, that's fine. And they said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "Well, I talking about the humming and things." And the guy
Yeah.
immediately said, "Oh, you had a fan running." I said, "No, it's not a fan. It's a solid state drive. It's a solid state drive.
There's no fan.
There's no fan in the thing." And he said, "Oh, not related to the speakers." And so.
Because if you use a headset, you do not hear the loud hiss.
The only way I hear it is not, it's not coming through the headset. It's coming because of the ambient sound going out into the air coming through. Because my headsets don't fit that firmly against my ear. Yeah, no, but it does not come through. In other words, it's unrelated to the speaker function one way or the other. It starts as soon as I,
Lift the lid.
lift the lid, move out from sleep mode, Well, this seemed to intrigue them. So,
They're like, well, I've never heard of that before.
he says, well, the battery shouldn't have died after 2 years. I said, well, I know I've not run through 300 cycles on it, maybe 100 at the most. And, well, there's going to be more of that anon. But I want to get all my stuff off that hard drive before I take it down there because I don't want them looking at all my,
snooping in on all our personal shit.
how shall we say, more colorful things I've got on that hard drive. Let those with the ears hear. Now Paul's seen some deer this morning. Just before we went to vote.
Yeah, buck chasing the.
Do you have horns?
Nose.
Do you have horns?
Oh yeah, it's the guy with the big rack.
Thank you for not phrasing it in points. Yeah, so that guy's got to be about between 5 and 6 years old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Been around for a while.
Yeah, no, that's
years,
the real. Oh,
anyway.
he's easily more than that because he's been around. That one is. There's one that's been around almost 6 years now. This will be his 6th year.
Well, that'd be him because he's got the big set.
Oh, I hope I can see him. Man, I can make a video for y'all guys. Yeah.
Although you probably won't like it because usually if we do show you the animals, you don't like watching them.
Yes,
I don't know why.
Well, yeah, they do.
Sometimes they don't.
Well, that's true. Mixed reviews.
So, here we are, Australia, sitting in the garden.
Well, Australia,
More or less.
Canada, United Kingdom. We have viewers.
Hope you like the view back of us.
Yeah, the leaves have largely disappeared now, as you can tell here. And
Yeah, the roads even showed up. Believe it or not.
we were down to 24, 28, but it's glorious right now. It's 62, and you can see I've got the door open.
It was 22 the other day.
Oh, yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah. Well, growing season is, well and truly over now. So, Paul and I have been sitting in the house shooting the breeze, which is always, generally one of the 2 days he's off, we'll settle in and have a fairly good conversation. That's always very pleasant. Sort of like takes us back to when we first met, I think.
Yeah, we used to sit in the kitchen and shoot shit.
Well, yeah.
Our living room.
Well, we used to do a lot, yeah. Well, I think on that note, while Paul's clothes are in the dryer, and I need to go down and get the mail now because the mail just arrived much earlier than usual.
I can't believe it's here at noon.
Well, it sometimes it does. And I couldn't believe that there were Christmas trees up in the stores I walked by there at the Polaris Station place.
Oh yeah. That crap comes up for
Oh yeah.
Halloween.
I saw some up there the 1st of October when I went down there to check something out, about this problem.
I know. They're nuts. It's like they do everything too much in advance or better.
It's all about the bucks, guys. Not the Ohio State Bucks. It's the U.S. Bucks.
The greenbacks.
Backsheesh. Well, that's more like I guess that means more like a bribe, I guess. The universal symbol anywhere, pretty much east of Greenwich. Well, on that note, we'll say
We're
bye-bye, YouTubers. Oh, here, a closing shot wouldn't be complete without my glass.